the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. Boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, I've been so looking forward to today's show. You already see what we call the sneak peek. You see some gentlemen here on the screen with me. They are only part of my guest schedule today. As you're watching this show April 5th, I am getting ready to pack my bags later on this week because I'm flying down to Orlando, Florida. That's right. I am flying down to join these gentlemen because Carlos Leach, the gentleman you see on the screen right below me, this is the 6th annual TLF annual golf classic. This year, though, we're going to be supporting the YMCA of South Orlando. And joining me before we get to all the gentlemen, Kevin Boulding, he's the executive director of that said YMCA. And of course, former NFL player, standout, Brandon Merriweather. I would say the Patriots, but as a Giants fan, I don't know if Brandon will like me any more or less by mentioning that. So I'm going to take my chances that he doesn't chase me on the golf course next week. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. As always, watching us on Facebook. You've got two pages, Aaron's Hour Show, and you can go to YouTube. Same thing. But if you like WWDB TV, that's okay. WWDB TV Las Vegas and WWDB TV on YouTube. And of course, in a couple of days, just go to Roku, download the WWDB TV network to Roku, and catch all the shows there. And you will notice right here above my head, if my finger doesn't disappear, WVBV TV Productions. That's right. That is the new network that is affiliated with WWDB TV that I am proud to run alongside with John here on the East Coast. All right. We are going to dispense with all the normal stuff that I like to do. John is going to have to forgive me for not talking on today's show, because I usually like to catch up with him because the gentlemen out with me today, you know what? They're gracious enough to take a little time today so we can talk about the tournament. So without further ado, let me officially bring in the man that has said, you know what? 6 years ago, I want to help support my community here in the Orlando area. And Mr. Carlos Leach, who's a 20-year veteran as an attorney, well-known down there in the Orlando area, joins us for this. I was honored last year to come down and be there for the 5th annual. Now I get the 6th annual. Carlos, how are you today, sir?
Man, I'm doing so great, Aaron. Man, I appreciate that introduction. And I'm noting right now the next time I go to court, I'm gonna need you to introduce me when I walk through the courthouse.
Only if I can start out by saying, let's get ready to rumble. If I can do that.
Yes, I love it. Let's go with it.
I've done wrestling introductions, the ring guy. I can pre-record anything you want, Carlos. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. Well, Carlos, today with us, we have Kevin Boulding, as I mentioned. He's the head honcho over there at the YMCA South Orlando. I always want to say but I have to catch myself. It's YMCA South Orlando. And, of course, Brandon Merriweather, former NFL player. He's got his own stuff going on down there in Florida. He's going to be playing this week as well. So, Carlos, let's talk about that. Every year when we do the tournament, you come up with a different nonprofit that you want to support. And this year you selected the YMCA. Talk about your decision on wanting to support Kevin and his group for this event next week.
Well, as you mentioned, every year we do it only for charity. All of the net proceeds go to charity. And we try to pick a charitable group that lines up with the goals of our firm. And this year, when we talked about it and I met with Kevin Boulding, and it was a no-brainer. The things that they do for certain people in the community kind of are consistent with what we do at our firm. And on top of that, I am a personal product of the YMCA myself.
All right.
When I was younger, my mom used to send my sister and I to the YMCA every summer. So, like I said, it was a no-brainer when it came to choosing the YMCA as the charity for this year's golf tournament.
Excellent. So, Kevin, here you get a phone call, I'm presuming more or less, from Carlos that says, Kevin, I want to bring together some of the best celebrity athletes I know. I want to help support the YMCA this year in April of 2025 with my golf tournament. We're going to get guys like Brandon Merriweather and James Harris and the whole slew of guys, and some guy from Virginia Beach to host the whole thing who thinks he's a Hall of Fame broadcaster. Well, he is on paper, at least. Yeah. So, Kevin, talk about that. I mean, it had to have been a nice surprise to get a call that, you're going to basically get a donation from this tournament.
Yeah, it's a great honor for us. We're always thankful when alumni reach back out. There's so many people who have a YMCA story. And as a nonprofit, it's always difficult at times to tell your story to enough people. But when you have people who have already come through your programs, whether it was 1 year, 10 year, or 20 something years or so ago, and have those people come back and want to contribute to and support their local Y, that's gold. So yeah, we're very thankful to have Carlos' support and continue to do the good work we're doing in the community.
And as I went through your bio, Kevin, me being from Virginia Beach, of course, you are a graduate of the University of Virginia. So
University of Virginia. Yeah.
That's right. We have that connection here. Now,
yeah.
When I mentioned Brandon earlier, and of course, I think Brandon's career, most people will connect him with the Patriots, but his last year of the NFL, and I was remiss in correcting myself, he did spend a season with my Giants. So I will take that back and lovingly say it is my absolute no. I'm only kidding. No, Brandon, what part of my G-Men for one season, Brandon? So tell me, Carlos calls you up and says, "Hey, Brandon, I got this golf tournament this year for YMCA. Tell me how long it took you to say yes, and why do you love playing in his tournaments?"
It took me about 35 seconds. Anytime Carlos called me, I gotta go. He's a great guy. And what he's doing it for is, is second to none. And to be honest with you, I learned how to swim at the YMCA. So, anything Carlos got going on, I'm gonna be part of.
Oh, I have goosebumps. I wish I could get the camera to zoom in. I have goosebumps with that. Now, I have to ask you though, how many times, Kevin, when you guys run around the building, the only part I've not been affiliated with the YMCA except for one way, and all I have to do is say the Village People, and I think you'll kind of know my connection, right? You probably get sick of that, don't you? I was going to say, can we break out in a YMCA line dance at the golf course?
No. That song haunts us everywhere we go.
Does it really?
If you're a YMCA staff person, any wedding you go to, that song comes on and people expect you to lead the dance. Right. So yeah, no, we don't get to play that one.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure that it doesn't get played with the DJ. I want to go back to Brandon for a second. So Brandon, coming up after the break, we have James Harris, former NFL player and executive, but we also have a slew of other celebrity athletes. Who are you looking most forward to seeing, competing against? Because, this is kind of like a little grudge match with you athletes. We get athletes together. It's like, you guys want to go after each other. Who are you looking forward to seeing and teeing off with?
To be honest, man, you know, I would say James Harrison since he gonna be on the show. But to be honest with you, I really don't think James Harrison could play golf at all.
Well, all right,
You know what I
John.
mean? Like
Bring him up. I can't. Wait a minute. John, please bring James in now. James, he was going to come in after break, but Brandon's calling him out. James, Brandon thinks that you don't have a golf game. He's talking smack on you, James.
Hey, listen, I ain't talking smack. What I'm saying is, I just personally don't think he swing the clubs that well. You know,
James?
So to be honest with you, if I had to pick an athlete who my team gotta be, it probably would be my old teammate Devin Hester. Me and him play, you know, against each other, you know, often throughout the year. So if I got to beat somebody just for junk talking, you know, it'll be Devin.
All right, James, can you hear us, James? All right, we're not James. It doesn't look like he can hear us. John, can you possibly message him or see what we have to do here that he's not picking up the audio, if you don't mind? James, can you hear us?
James didn't want to hear that anyway.
All right, John, let's put him off to the side until we take a break and we check out his audio. So, all right, so we got that. So, all right. So, but you've got a great slew of athletes coming, Carlos, to mix it up. Kevin, I noticed you're not, are you playing at the tournament?
I believe so. I'm going to try to hang in there.
All right. So we're going to see everything. First of all, we have the Pro-Am earlier in the day, which is going to be pretty cool, Carlos, that all the celebrity athletes kind of get together and they're going to play a tournament really for them and a couple of yourself and a couple of our sponsors. Great idea here, but I got to imagine that's going to be the place where a lot of smack talking is going to be happening for the cause. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Every year that's smack talking. I'll tell you who the top three are right now.
Go ahead.
Olden Polynice, number one.
Oh, yeah. Great guy last year.
He is definitely going to talk a lot of trash. Believe it or not, Grant Hill will talk some trash too. He'll do it on the sly, but he'll talk some trash. And then Nick Anderson always talk trash, even though he can't back it up with his game. He will talk some trash. So those are three guys that are definitely going to come bring it in terms of speaking out. Let's
all right. I will have to make sure I drive around the course and record some of that. That's for sure. Right. So, Kevin, so that is early in the day on the day before. So that night we have the pairings party at the golf course, Eagle Creek. So, Kevin, when we pull the names out of the hat, who do you want to see the name come up for your group? Who do you want to see of all the? I mean, I know. Let's be politically correct. You know, if you want to say Brandon, he's here with us. You want to say James, he's here with us. But come on, you got to have a favorite when you look at the list here.
Well, you know, I will tell you, I'm conflicted here. So obviously, you know, I'm a UVA grad, but for the longest time, even before my UVA days, I've been a Duke basketball guy. And that goes back to, you know, long time ago, like 83, 84. Okay. So yeah, I'm conflicted. But, you know, I think, hey, whenever it comes down to it and you get these guys coming out to support a good cause, support the Y, we're happy to see them all.
See, now, are you running for politics soon?
That's what I was about to say the same thing. No, you can throw your name out there so I can know who to shoot at. You know, you're going to be your first on my hit list. Go ahead and say it. Go and say Grant Hill. Go and say it.
I knew something at some point was going to come out here. The good thing is for me, I'm glad I'm going to be on the microphone because unless there's a clown's mouth or a windmill somewhere in the golf course, man, I struggle in the golf game. So I'm glad I'm going to be on the microphone doing what I do. All right. John, how much time for a break? I think only a couple of minutes. We want to make sure James's audio is working. But listen, folks, this is what you got to do. We've got to check it out. Your website, TLF Annual Golf Classic is the website. Now, we're talking about the tournament is sold out, but the Pro-Am and the pairings party are open to the public. So check it out. Come on down. All the information's on the website, TLF annualgolfclassic.com. You see all the celebrities that are there. You can make a donation. Come on down. Now, again, as I said, the day of the tournament, we're locked in, folks. We're locked in with golfers. But again, the Pro-Am as well as the pairings party, which will all be held at the golf course, Eagle Creek, right there in Orlando. It's open to the public. Come on down. See Brandon, see Kevin, see James, see all the rest of the celebrity athletes and folks we're going to have available and participate. We're going to have auction items. Why? Because the money is there to support Kevin and the YMCA of South Orlando. All right, Carlos, before we go to break here in a couple of seconds, any words of encouragement for our two guests before we go to break or anything?
Well, all I'll say is you got to bring your A game. Some of these guys can really play. Like, for example, Chris Lee can play.
Oh, yes.
I've seen him play. He can slap the golf ball. So bring your A game. Let's warm up well on Thursday so that you're in tip-top shape for Friday morning.
All right.
Hey, Carlos, you remember what I did to you at Stony Brook West?
I remember.
Hey,
Brandon can hit the ball now. I
don't get on my bad side now.
I'm a witness. I'm a witness. I'm a witness.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. This is great. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to step aside for our first break. As we come back on the other side, hopefully we have James Harris. We got his audio fixed, and then hopefully by that point, Robert Coleman. We'll have some with James and Carlos, and we'll figure out what to go from there. I'll give you the list of athletes and everything we got going on and review the schedule. You're watching Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast. Boy, am I so looking forward to coming to Orlando next week. If I wasn't afraid to play golf, I'd come and play but these guys, they'll outshine me. All right, you're watching Aaron's Hour. We'll be right back.
With an award-winning and dedicated faculty and 4 beautiful campuses, Tidewater Community College proudly serves nearly 25,000 students a year, 48% of whom pursue degrees that let them transfer to 4-year institutions. At Tidewater Community College, 65% of our students attend part-time, so they can earn while they learn, and 1/3 of our students are military-related. Enroll today at Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
Founded in 2021 by husband and wife duo Jason and Melissa Taylor, Rustic Reclaimed Design is a small business proudly owned by a woman and disabled Navy veteran. Rustic Reclaimed Design specializes in custom handmade and laser engraved products. By combining craftsmanship and creativity, Rustic Reclaimed Design delivers unique, high-quality items. Whether it is a personalized gift, something for the home, or a custom design, their mission is to create a piece that brings your vision to life. Visit us on Facebook by searching Rustic Reclaimed Design. Send an email to sales@rusticreclaimdesign.com or simply call 757-567-2790. Rustic Reclaimed Design is where we craft connections one unique piece at a time. It seems like the cost of keeping the lights on goes up way too often. Do you wish there was something you can do to control the energy costs in your own home to keep the lights on? I want you to Think Energy. Think Energy has partnerships across the country that takes advantage of solar farms. Solar farms actually reduce the dependency on your local electric company by having part of your electricity actually come from these solar farms, which in turn reduces your costs. To learn more, contact Preston Pearson by dialing 229-291-8329 or send an email to cp3foralltime@gmail.com. There is no better time to think energy. All right, everybody, welcome back to Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. That's right. Now, which is traditional with my shows, rotating guests is like the Chinese fire drill. We all used to do it at a red light as kids. Guests in, guests out. Joining me now, former NFL great and former executive, Mr. James Harris, and Mr. Robert Coleman from Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando. Apparently, somebody's different words came out of my mouth in that first segment, and I mentioned a different auto dealer. That's my bad. So when I come in and buy a car, Mr. Coleman, you can double the price for me as a penalty. Not a problem. So I apologize for that. But it is Mercedes-Benz. South Orlando is part of this year's event, the 6th annual TLF Annual Golf Classic. Mr. Harris, thank you. Mr. Coleman, thank you for taking time with us today. How are you gentlemen doing?
Great, man. Thanks.
You know, I'm looking at our picture, although we just lost James, but I'm looking at all four of our pictures. Shampoo companies will not make money on us. I don't know what. We're just going with the very easy look. So, all right, we lost James for a second. That's okay. We'll keep going here with Mr. Coleman. So, again, thank you to Mercedes-Benz of South Orlando for jumping in. Tell me, Carlos calls you up. We're supporting the YMCA for the 6th annual. Tell me, he probably didn't have to strong arm you too long, did he, to help out?
Oh, man, he did. When he gave me the heads up, I said, man, let's do this. Why not?
Good for you. And we appreciate that. Now, are you coming out to golf too?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right. What kind of handicap you got? Mine is the game of golf. So
Bro,
I don't know.
I am handicapped. That's why I'm just hey.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, I'm just to support. Believe me.
That's, you know what? That's more valuable than trying to swing them clubs and throwing out your back possibly. So
exactly.
Then we have Mr. Harris, Mr. James Harris, former NFL player and executive, and built so many teams around the league, is going to be out there. Mr. Harris, thank you time with us today. So I'm going to ask you the question. Did you hear the smack talk Brandon gave you in the earlier segment?
No, I didn't. I missed it.
Well, he said he would love to play against you because he thinks you don't have golf game.
He's right about that.
Oh.
Man, my ball is disobedient.
Oh, well, here's the good news for you, James. One of the whole challenges that we have going on, not a whole challenge, but one of the whole games is a gentleman who is known for his long drives. So on that particular hole, I think if you just pony up some dollars there, he can, on a 500-yard hole, he'll probably get you out there 400 yards, man.
Count me in.
All right. There you go. There you go. So I want to ask you the same question, James. Here we go. Carlos calls you up. He says, listen, James, I've got this, tournament, the 6th annual. We're supporting YMCA. Tell me, it probably wasn't a hard sell to have you join the event this year, was it?
Not at all. The combination of who Carlos is, a great person, and partnership with the YMCA, all of us coming up had some organization like that inspired us to be achievers instead of cheaters. So I was happy to be involved.
Well, that's great. And for me, one of the things, and I really never let Carlos know this, but I was down there for the 5th annual last year. And really the celebrity athletes that he has participate in these events really is like a who's who of the different sports worlds, right? And last year, as professional as I tried to be, but inside I was fangirling over meeting all these guys. You mentioned Olden Polynice before, and Brian Jordan and the like. And now this year I get to meet someone of your stature. I will try to be as professional as I can when I shake your hand and introduce myself. But just know when I say hello to you, Mr. Harris, inside of me, it'll be like the Beatles. Because, you've got a heck of a career there. And listen, you wore number 12 in your playing days, and that's not a light number to wear as a quarterback back in the day. Many great quarterbacks wore that number. And so there you were carrying that tradition as well.
Oh, it's first of all, being in the tournament I'm very excited and looking forward to the tournament. It's well organized. It's run well. They get off on time. The food is good. And you get a chance to engage with people from the community, the sponsors, and knowing that the donations are going and making a difference in the lives of so many young people. And when you put it all together, I'm very excited to participate.
So I want to ask you the same question I asked Brandon. Who do you want to golf against in this tournament? Who do you want to go head to head with in that grudge match between you and who? Who do you want to take on the golf course?
Let me see now. I just want to take on my handicap. I just want to beat my handicap.
Oh, well, that's fair. I love the fact that you're all trying to be so politically correct, but like Carlos mentioned earlier, man, I can only imagine the talk that's going to be going on when it's time to tee off. Right, Carlos?
That's right. That's right. It's a great time, but I'll just say this, Aaron, having somebody like James Shaq Harris play with us is a huge boost to the event. I mean, it's always wonderful to have somebody like him play. I mean, he was a trailblazer, a pioneer, and so many people looked up to him during his career and still do, by the way. And I've had some really good conversations with him over the years. And it just so happens that, he went to Grambling and I went to Southern. That makes it even better. So I thank him and people like Robert Coleman for continuing to support this worthy cause.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. We really enjoy it, man. It's fun.
Yeah. Mercedes,
this is one time Grambling and Southern can team up.
That's true. This is true.
I was going to say, yeah, Mercedes-Benz, Mr. Coleman, you've been there for multiple times supporting Carlos's events, and it is quite a boon for you guys to continue to support as well. Not that Mercedes-Benz needs help in terms of people knowing who they are, but when you're able to tie yourself into a community as rooted as you are with Carlos and the things that he does, that's got to be great for business and just for recognition.
Yeah, 100%, man, and I love it. I mean, just the crowd he has out there in that golf course, man, and I would say 50% of those guys I know, plus they're most of my clients. So, which means a lot for us to give back, to Carlos and a group of guys out there.
Do you ship cars to Virginia Beach? That's what I want to know. Do you ship to Virginia Beach?
Hey, it'll be there tomorrow.
Because I was actually online earlier today. I was looking at a pre-owned vehicle that looked pretty good. So I was doing some window shopping.
Yeah, man, I got you. Just let me know.
All right, you got it. That's fair enough. All right, so what is your ultimate goal for this? We know what our goal is, Mr. Coleman, but what would you like to see the results of this tournament be on behalf of the YMCA?
I mean, the exposed.
Well, it looks like we lost them. When you're on your cell phone, folks, and a call or text comes in, unfortunately, it does disrupt the signal. So that's probably what is happening. So let me go back to James and ask the same question. James, as I was just asking, what do you want to see at the end result of this tournament this year on behalf of the event, back to the YMCA? What is your goal for this? Other than going out and having a good time and beating some other players, what do you want to see the end result be for the YMCA?
I think the ultimate goal is that, funds are raised and substantial donation can be given to the YMCA. And once again, to be able to assist the young people in after school activities and just inspiring them to want to be something special in life.
I love that. Absolutely. Because, I've believed in all the years that as I was growing up, and there is never enough positive role models or mentors in our lives to help us. We know where they should be, and that should be at home or our teachers. But sometimes we need those influences outside of that realm to maybe hear a different voice to help us lead. And I love that sentiment, James, because, I met Carlos for the first time last year. When I look in the dictionary, the word class act, and there's Carlos's picture, because when he does this for his, no, seriously, because when you do this for your community, Carlos, you go all out to make it right and get every benefit we can, help the nonprofit that's been selected. And so, as James said earlier, the food is great. It's well organized. Tip to the cap to Magali Fernandez, and for really helping spur this with. But really, Carlos, you do it right. You treat your celebrities correct, and all the corporate sponsors, everybody that's there. And I say that because I'm sort of a sponsor, but I'm there working it. You treat everybody well, and I think that's why you've had so much. Look, folks. Thus far, the Leach firm in the first 5 tournaments has raised around $80,000 to go back into the community. And so I'll be honest with you, folks, we want to raise 20 grand. We want to get to an even $100,000 of total monies raised, donated back into that Orlando area. We need everybody's help, which is why I'm going to remind everybody. The pairings party is going to be open to everybody. It is open to the public. The pairings party is going to be the night of the 10th. 6 p.m. and that's going to be held right there at the golf course, Eagle Creek Clubhouse on Emerson Lake Road. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. There's going to be drinks. You could take pictures. We got silent auctions. Come on down. The Pro-Am tournament, 10 a.m. on Thursday. It's going to be a shotgun tee time start. Everybody's going to have specific tee times. That is open to, we still have maybe a couple of spots. I don't know, Carlos, is that totally sold out now? The Pro-Am?
It's closed. I think we have 2 or 3 spots left.
All right, so folks, get on down there. We want to hit that 20 grand so that we can give to the YMCA. That's the goal. We're almost there, folks. Not gonna lie to you, we're almost there. but we want to make sure we blow past it with folks like James, with folks like Brandon, and folks like Mercedes-Benz with Mr. Coleman. We can do it, but we need your help. Come on out and share it. So again, here's the website, TLF, like the Leach Firm, TLF, annualgolfclassic.com. Everything you want to know for the luncheon, even at the golf tournament. St. Germain's, they are the lunch sponsor for the golf tournament. The Pro-Am Classic, we have Nunez Law and St. Germain also. They're going to be involved in that. We have music. We have singers. Folks, come on down to the tournament. Come on down to the Pro-Am. See James. See everybody. Heck, I'll even park your car if you want to, folks, when you come back. I won't wash it, however, but I will be happy to park it, especially if it's a Mercedes from Mr. Coleman's place. Gives me a little test drive opportunity.
Gotcha.
For you. All right. Carlos, any final words for Mr. Coleman and Mr. Harris before we end this portion?
No, again, just thanking them tremendously for being a big part of this. I'll remind everybody that's listening, we all kind of know what the YMCA does, but in this particular instance, this location does a tremendous benefit to the people in their community by giving them free, I don't know if tuition is the word, but cost-free attendance for the summer programs, which includes food, swim lessons, other lessons, arts and craft, and it keeps the kids busy so that they learn something during the summer and they stay out of trouble. So it's a really good benefit. And in the website you mentioned, even if you can't make it in person, there's a link to pay or donate online. If you give $25, we'd appreciate it. $50, we appreciate it even more. $100, we'll be singing and dancing.
That's right. Absolutely. You can go to that website. You can click all the information you need to there. So, Carlos, I'm going to ask you to stick around a little bit longer afterward. We're going to go to break in about 30 seconds. I know Mr. Harris has to depart. He has another engagement. Mr. Coleman, I know you're busy. Thank you for taking time. But I'm glad you brought up the YMCA, Carlos, because when we come back from break, I want to just take a little more time to talk about the YMCA a little more in detail, and we'll just kind of go from there. So with that, James, Robert, thank you again, everybody. You are watching Aaron's Hour Special Edition highlighting the 6th annual TLF Annual Golf Classic to be held April 10 and 11th. We're talking about it. Some of the guests. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this. Thank you for watching.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
To reveal means to make something, secret or hidden, publicly or generally known. The phrase, covering the wound doesn't stop the hurt, can be applied to any situation and is based on individual experiences. This phrase is not a solution, but our goal is that it inspires you to acknowledge the wounds you've been covering far too long. These words are meant to help you to unlock your inner strength to begin the process of self-healing. Whether you like hoodies, t-shirts, hats, or jogger sets, go to reveal-llc.com now and order what you need to remind you that it's okay to rip off the Band-Aid to begin to heal.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, I don't know about you, Carlos, but I'm exhausted after speaking with all those guys and the talk back and forth. And I'll tell you, I'm so looking forward to coming out there later on this week to see everybody, to see you and participate in really what's become a staple event for now the 6th year, the TLF 6th Annual Golf Classic, where you pick different nonprofits, which is wonderful that you're willing to spread the wealth with everybody. But let's focus on the YMCA. Everybody knows the name. Here in Virginia Beach, I easily pass 3 or 4 just coming and going to my office or my gym or whatever. But let's talk about the YMCA specific down there. You touched on it in the last segment, but I want to touch on let's get into more detail. And you touched on food programs and things because people forget that when there's no school for these students, for instance, right? Their meal programs stop generally during the summer unless they end up going to summer session. Maybe they get food. That's an important part of what YMCA does for their community, right?
It is. I learned this years ago that there's so many kids that rely on school to provide food and nutritional services for them, that they couldn't otherwise get. And a lot of the conversation that we had with Kevin was summer programs at the YMCA, they do the same thing. So, we always think arts and crafts and social events and sporting events, but one of the primary purposes of the whole summer program at the YMCA is to feed the kids.
Right. Do you know how many, I don't want to call them enrollment, let's call them members. Do you know how many members, and I should have asked this of Kevin earlier, do we know how many members there are of that YMCA down there?
I think there are approximately 100 or so.
Okay.
It's in a centrally located area, so it's very well populated.
Okay.
And it's been in existence for some years. So that particular branch of the YMCA is very populated.
I was going to say, and no relation to me, but I believe there's a Phillips family that is behind that or started that facility years ago, or there's a foundation involved. Is that right?
Yeah, most of the YMCAs in Orlando have roots where people help them start it out through donations and things like that. And this one is one of the same.
So YMCA, though, is obviously a national brand.
Correct.
And I don't know if you know this. And again, this is probably something I could have asked Kevin, but I'm sure there's national support from a national office, but really a lot of the YMCAs rely on local support for their funding and their growth and participation, which is why an event like this one is so important. They're almost autonomous in each other, right?
This is correct. Because the way it was explained to me is most of the money and the funds that go to support the YMCA come from local donations. And obviously the people who give money and make charitable donations get to decide which locations they go to. We chose this one. It's very centrally located. They have a really good history of helping out kids in the past. And like I said, if they're doing food services or teaching basic swim survival skills, arts and crafts, reading, and various other team-related sports. I remember when I was a kid, I went to the YMCA and we had counselors that would teach us a lot of life survival things. And so this one does the same thing. I thought that the way their agenda, it lines up with the goals that we have for our firm. So as I said, it was a no-brainer. We really want to get behind it and make a big push to make the biggest donation we can this year.
Absolutely. $20,000 is our goal, folks. So again, go to TLFannualgolfclassic.com. I don't care where you're watching. I got a lot of you friends on the West Coast out there, and I'll be knocking on the door to come out there with some of these tournaments too. And I know you Kiwanians and all are watching. Go ahead and hit that donate button. Help us out. Reach that goal. I don't care if it's $5, $6, $20, whatever it is. Break your piggy bank open, collect the change, go to your supermarket, drop those coins in that green machine where it turns into money. We'll take it because we want to hit $20,000 so that round number of $100,000 that has gone back into the Orlando area courtesy of the Leach firm is what we want to make sure happens. So do that. And what I want to quickly do is just run down the engagement for the events this week. So things start next Thursday, April 10th with the Pro-Am Celebrity Grudge Match. Open to the public. There are just a few slots open, 10 a.m. start time. Then after that, we all get to run back to our hotels quickly for our shower and cleanup because at 6 p.m. is the big open pairings party. It's open to the public. $25 if you want to pay now for a ticket or $35 at the door. Food, drink, take pictures with celebrities. By the way, Olden Polynice is as tall as you think he is, 7'1", man, right?
He's legit.
I got to tell you, last year I had so much fun with him. He was great as a foil for me. We had so much fun. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I had a lot of fun with him last year. See, you got pictures, autographs, raffles, silent auction, 50/50s. Now, we have Dave Stewart is going to be performing live at the pairings party. He's a great saxophonist. Now, the main event, Friday, April 11th, the TLF 6th Annual Golf Classic. Registration starts at 7:30 and breakfast, by the way. Can't forget breakfast. Vendors, I believe, are showing up, must be there around 7 so we can get them out to the holes. 8:30, shotgun start for the 4-person scramble. Approximately 1 p.m., that's the luncheons, folks. That's where we get to award all the winners of the tournament, closest to the pin, long drive, your foursome competitions. Carmen Harrell will be performing. She did a great job last year. I'm glad to see that she'll be coming back. Now, if you don't have a foursome, you know what? But you got nothing to do and you can take time off and come support. Guess what? You can come golf. Come golf. There's a link right there on the website. Single golfer, we have an option for you. If you want to put a foursome together last minute, heck, you have that option as well. Those options are there on the website. The luncheon will take us through till about 4 or 5 o'clock usually, and then the event will be done, and you know that you will have had the opportunity to help reach our goal. Everything is taking place at Eagle Creek Golf Club right there in Orlando, easily located conveniently at 10350 Emerson Lake Boulevard. And if memory serves, it's not too far from the airport, which I like very much.
Very close. Very close.
It's going to be a quick turnaround as well. But listen, folks, come on down. I can't stress it enough. I don't care where you are watching this show right now. Especially, I understand that we may have some folks from Atlanta watching and keeping an eye on things. Boy, I'd love to go down to Atlanta, maybe do some tournaments down there, do some good in that community, take TLF down there. Who knows? If you're Atlanta, if you're Orlando, Virginia Beach, let's do it. Carlos, on behalf of Orlando, not that I'm that big, I want to thank you for all that you do to support your community so that they can continue to thrive and be the man that you are as the humanitarian, taking your success and being able to leverage it to help other people. I think that's a gold star worthwhile of being noted. I want to ask you one question that I ask all of my guests, and well, I'm going to ask a couple of them. So these are totally off the wall, and then I have one serious one at the end. Who is your favorite actor of all time? I want to know.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Of all time?
All time. When this actor has, who do you want to watch that's in a movie that this actor's in?
Denzel Washington, without a doubt.
I get him so often, man. I'm jealous.
Denzel. You know why? He's versatile. Like, he can do any role.
Absolutely. No question.
Yeah.
How about favorite actress? Let's go to the female side of the aisle. Who's your favorite actress?
Ooh.
That's always tough. That's a tougher one for people for some reason.
It is. It is. Come back to me on that.
All right, I'll come back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Favorite music genre? What kind of music you like?
I'm a toss up between jazz and hip hop. Believe it or not. I love me some jazz. Live jazz is my thing.
Oh, really? Well, that explains why we had the great music we'll have that weekend, because Dave's great on the saxophone. So here you are. You're in your car driving home to your office or wherever you're going. Your favorite all-time song comes on your radio. You're stopped at a red light. Maybe you're not the best singer in the world, so you're going to do your own karaoke. What song are you singing? And you don't care what you look like, that people are looking in the car wondering if you're medically okay. What song are you banging out to?
Phil Collins, in the Air Tonight.
In the Air Tonight. Great song.
It is not even close. I will lose my mind to that song.
Tell me you stop and do the drum, right? Oh my God. Oh, yes. I love that. Love that. Yes. All right, last two questions. This is it. I'm going to give you a hint. If you look behind me, who is your favorite superhero, Batman or Superman?
Superman, definitely.
What? I get
Superman. Superman, man. Come on.
All right.
Batman? No.
Because you are who you are.
Clark Kent, man.
Bruce Wayne? Come on, Bruce Wayne?
Nah. Superman, man.
Because you are who you are, I will let it slide just for you. I don't let any other guests come back after that one. All right. The only serious question I'm going to ask with that, and then we'll say goodbye. When the day comes, and it's going to be for a long time, you are standing at the pearly gates, and the maitre d' is there to greet you. He's going to open up the gate. What do you want the maitre d' there at the pearly gates to say to you upon entering into heaven?
I want that person to say, Leach, we are proud that you did everything you could to touch some people's lives here on this earth, and you didn't waste your time in vain. That's it.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely. Great answer. Listen, Carlos, thank you again for hosting this. I'm so looking forward to coming back down and engaging all that humidity you guys have down there. Go ahead.
You ready for the shower?
Oh, I'm ready, dude. I'm ready. TLFannualgolfclassic.com, folks. Thursday, April 10th, Pro-Am Celebrity Grudge Match. Pairings party at 6 p.m. By the way, the Celebrity Grudge Match at 10 a.m. Pairings party at 6 p.m. And then on Friday the 11th, 7:30, registration and breakfast, 8:30 shotgun for the actual main tournament. All of this happening graciously at the Eagle Creek Golf Course on Emerson Lake Boulevard. We want to thank them for always making themselves available. And if you can't participate in this one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you now, mark your calendar for April 2026, probably right around the same time. for the 7th annual TLF Golf Classic, because we're going to be coming with another nonprofit that Carlos will want to support, and I look forward to it. Carlos, my friend, it'll be so great to see you again next week when we come out there. Thank you for doing what you do for your community, and thank you for taking your time with me today, because I know you're a busy guy, and thank you for making time to chat with us so we can share what you do with my audience all across the globe.
Man, I appreciate the time today. I had a great time on the show, Aaron.
You got it. Thank you to all of our guests again, Kevin from the YMCA, James Harris, Brandon Merriweather, Robert Coleman, and everybody watching. We appreciate it. As always, I'm going to simply say this. Be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. We'll see you next time right here on Aaron's Hour. Everybody, thank you for watching.
Your path to a meaningful career begins at Tidewater Community College. We're here to help you every step of the way, from application to financial aid, to helping you transfer to the four-year college of your choice, and even placement in in-demand careers. Whether you're looking to transition from the military, want to go part-time while you work, or make a full-time career change, TCC is here for you with multiple campuses throughout the region. Enroll today at Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
To reveal means to make something, secret or hidden, publicly or generally known. The phrase, covering the wound doesn't stop the hurt, can be applied to any situation and is based on individual experiences. This phrase is not a solution, but our goal is that it inspires you to acknowledge the wounds you've been covering far too long. These words are meant to help you to unlock your inner strength to begin the process of self-healing. Whether you like hoodies, t-shirts, hats, or jogger sets, go to reveal-llc.com now and order what you need to remind you that it's okay to rip off the Band-Aid to begin to heal.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Founded in 2021 by husband and wife duo Jason and Melissa Taylor, Rustic Reclaimed Design is a small business proudly owned by a woman and disabled Navy veteran. Rustic Reclaimed Design specializes in custom handmade and laser engraved products. By combining craftsmanship and creativity, Rustic Reclaimed Design delivers unique, high-quality items. Whether it is a personalized gift, something for the home, or a custom design, their mission is to create a piece that brings your vision to life. Visit us on Facebook by searching Rustic Reclaimed Design. Send an email to sales@rusticreclaimdesign.com or simply call 757-567-2790. Rustic Reclaimed Design is where we craft connections one unique piece at a time. It seems like the cost of keeping the lights on goes up way too often. Do you wish there was something you can do to control the energy costs in your own home to keep the lights on? I want you to Think Energy. Think Energy has partnerships across the country that takes advantage of solar farms. Solar farms actually reduce the dependency on your local electric company by having part of your electricity actually come from these solar farms, which in turn reduces your costs. To learn more, contact Preston Pearson by dialing 229-291-8329 or send an email to cp3foralltime@gmail.com. There is no better time to think energy.